Welcome, welcome back, guys, to the Relax and Listen podcast. So, today's video is going to be kind of a deep video. Of course, I'm in my pajamas. Nice and cozy and comfy today. This video is about the man that hurt me. And what I mean by that is, obviously, if you don't know, I'm not talking about relationship man. I am completely happy in my relationship. I'm speaking of the past things that I went through. And I'm hoping that I can help others that are going through a similar situation or went through a similar situation. So yeah, we'll see. So I'm getting sick, so I may struggle to talk soft spoken, but we'll see. Yeah, so this video is about the man that hurt me pretty bad. Yeah, so it's about my mother's ex-boyfriend. Yeah. So I was at around the age, I think I was 14, so obviously I was super young. 13 or 14, they were together for a few years. But I feel like people don't understand that it was a very hard situation because I was very young and I didn't know right from wrong, really. And so yeah, but my mom got with this man that is just a disgusting man. Even still today, he's not a good man. But when they got together, he did not treat me right, and what I mean by that, it wasn't anything physical. It was like he looked me up and down with disgust. I was a child, and as a mother that I am nowadays, I couldn't imagine, like, if I was with someone and they looked at my child like that. Like, I definitely look at it differently, everything that I went through as a child. But he would look at me with disgust. Anytime I was alone with him, he would make fun of me in every single way. I just remember I'd sit on the couch next to him or something really silly, and he would be like, he'd look at me with disgusting eyes, and he would squint his nose. And it would bother me so badly because I was like in the stage where I was starting to get insecure, but I wasn't fully there yet. But he for sure pushed that, for sure. Like, all the bad insecurity things I didn't feel until after they were together for a while, and then I felt all these emotions toward myself, and I do blame that on him because I just never thought that way of myself. I loved myself. But yeah, he would do that stuff, and I was always told, he's joking, you're taking things too seriously. He was a master manipulator. My poor mother was manipulated so badly that when I would tell her some things like this, she would look at me and go, "It's a joke, Maddie. You know he's joking. He loves you." And And I'd be like, oh, so then, with like friendship wise, I would allow friends in my life when I was really young that would be mean to me, and I thought that they loved me. So that's like another thing that was a little hard for me to understand, is like when I'm being told evilness is just apparently somebody loving you, bullying you is love. I went to friendships and I allowed that into my life, and I didn't understand that it was wrong. I didn't have that guidance. I was always told, it's no big deal. You're fine, you're overreacting. This is all out of love. That did mess me up badly with friendships, later on boyfriends, all the above. So yeah. No, it wasn't just him making fun of me. It eventually got worse. I remember he would lock me in the bathroom with him. Now this is a little deep, so it's nothing too bad, but it's deep. And he would tell me, when you turn 18, we're gonna get together, and I'm not gonna be with your mom anymore. And that was the first time that I was ever truly scared of what this man was capable of. I was terrified. I was a child. I didn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. I tried telling my mom, and she said, maybe you're taking it out of proportion. Maybe. He didn't mean it like that. That's how you know she was extremely manipulated, because anything I told her, she would make up excuses, or she would run to him and ask him these questions, and he would turn it all onto me and be like, well, she locked me in the bathroom, she did this, she's in the wrong. Like, what kind of man does this? It's not a man, by the way. What kind of little boy? Mind you, my mother was 40 years old. He was 27. Huge age gap. I have no issues with age gap, but maturity-wise, there are major issues with a big age gap like that. He was immature. He still acted like a child, and he apparently was a child. And then my mom was just wanting love so badly that she would do anything for it, and a very sad situation. But it came to the point where I couldn't be around my mother anymore, because obviously he's disgusting. He would say things. I woke up one day. Sorry, I thought I kept hiccuping, but anyways, I woke up to my mom and her boyfriend being gone, so I went in his room, and I was a child, so like, I'm a Snoopy, it's all innocent. But I went in their room being sneaky, and I found traces of women's clothing that wasn't my mom's. So obviously he was cheating. I told my mom about it, and you know what her first thing that she told me was? They're mine, they should be mine. And I'm like, mother, those are not yours, I know you. And that's how much he manipulated her. It was that bad, where she was like, oh, that's mine, I think they're mine. And I'm like, no, no, that's not yours. And then eventually it became me and my mother fighting quite a lot. Like, we lost our relationship. Obviously, in the end, she did find out that everything I was saying was true, and it hit her so I mean, obviously I'm glad she came to realize it, but she spent years with this man that I had to spend years with, and on summers I would spend it with my father. And I love my dad, but there's a whole nother story to my dad. He's not so good of a man, so I didn't have the best father figures at all. So it was really hard, but something that I wish that I did was, instead of allowing this evil man to scare me, say these evil things about me and my mom, I wish that I would have just left or told somebody else other than my mom, because I hid all of this from everybody. And hiding all of that was hard, because people would go, "Oh, he's a good man," and I would sit there just going, and no, it was all just bottled up emotions. And it led to me having struggles with relationships in the future badly because of what I had to live with. And yeah, I just really wish that I told somebody or I got out of there, because it was so toxic and it's not okay. And what irks me so bad is this man is just out here. I mean, he's in my hometown, but I have a family now, but he's just out here living his best life. Like, I know this happened years ago, but would he change? Probably not. But he's out here living his best life, and I just have my kids, and I get so scared that I'm gonna run into him. I still have that fear. I allowed this man to put so much fear into my life for years that it's still affecting my adulthood. I'm glad he didn't do anything to me, but what if he did things to other women or girls? Or that's something that bothers me so bad, because it just drives me nuts. Like, I hope to God that he is not hurting anybody else, but I can't help but think of the stuff that he put me and my mother through for years. And it's not the fact he was only doing it to me. He manipulated my mother, and he made fun of her and bullied her daily. But because he was so good at manipulating, she would just be like, "Oh, he's joking," and would laugh it off. And then at night, she would be like crying and depressed. That's how good he was at manipulating. It was actually crazy and extremely sad. And one thing that my sister and my brother struggle to understand is, like, or not to understand, something they struggle with is they wish that they took me out of that situation. They're like the only two that know the situation like this, and they do wish that they stopped it when it began, or at least helped me, so I didn't have to go through anything that I went through. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was more that happened, but I've blocked out so much because it's eaten me up alive. It has, and that's just not healthy. But this man is a horrible man, and honestly, me being a mom now, I couldn't imagine doing any of this to my children. You're actually crazy. I doubt he would ever see this video, but I do know he's like a nerd and he watches YouTube all of the time. And if you see this, you're a horrible person. I laugh when I'm nervous, by the way. That I've had people say, "Why do you laugh?" I do it when I'm nervous. But you are a horrible person. If you're watching this, I doubt you are, but I hope that you have changed. But yeah, from what I see on social media, like I said, I live in a small town. I don't think he has. yeah, if you are going through this, please don't deal with this. If you have kids, please think of your kids. Please think of them. Do not do what my mother and me did, where we just allowed this stuff to happen. And if you're a child and your mother is dating somebody and they're being so evil to you, speak up. Please speak up, because it could affect your adulthood. And sorry, my stomach keeps growling. It can affect your adulthood. Speak up. Don't be a me that allowed this evil to control me. And I felt so stuck because I didn't say anything to anybody. I didn't tell my family. I didn't tell friends. I allowed this stuff to happen. But once again, I was a child. But if you know that something is not right, get help. And if you're a mother and you know that this is not okay for your family, and you're dating somebody, and it could be vice versa, like if you're a man and you're dating somebody like this, please do not stay, especially if you have kids that it's gonna affect when they get older. It's not okay, so please get help. I could talk about this story forever because there was so much that happened just in the few years they were together. Between him being mean to me waking up and somehow being next to him in bed, like so much weird things happened, but I can't remember the full story because I think that's a trauma response. I think that my memory is scrambled because it's a trauma response, and it's my brain protecting me from things that happened, and it bugs me that he's just living his best life. But oh well. But that's the thing. Do not allow this evil to control your life. Get away from master manipulators. So yeah, this is my deep little ramble today of my podcast. Man, this is one heck of a story. Sorry that it's been a long story. But I hope that you guys understand a little bit more about me and understand a little bit more on this type of situation. And I hope that you'll never be in this type of situation. And I love you guys. Thank you for the support. We are getting closer to 200 subscribers, so thank you guys, and that is it for today. I'm gonna go eat.